My name's John Pioli, that's Pioli, and I'm a local resident. The things that have been said before, but I'm surprised in that there's a huge amount of consultation goes into the local plan, a lot of meetings, and given that the local plan is democratically proceeded with, and that says this is an open green space, I don't understand how that can be challenged, and I applaud the council for standing firm on that point. But talking about the development as a whole, my mother is in a care home in the Midlands, and although she's in her 80s, she still has her car, and I think on the site she's in with 16 rooms with carers. I think 7 of the residents still have vehicles, which is important to them, just that little bit of freedom. And she drives quite well, although very slowly. But when we go to visit, my sisters, we take up 4 car parking spaces. And I think the nature and scale of this development is ridiculous, because I would say you need a minimum of 2 spaces for each room to take account of the staff, the services, deliveries, and I think, as was said by the eminent councillor, all the staff would have to drive in because they're not going to be local. There is a huge amount of parking issues if you care to look at the local industrial estate, and it's created huge parking problems in the surrounding areas, and there's a lot of new parking schemes that have to be put in place. And I see no prospect of a development on this small site being able to be contained. You know, if it was maybe 10 homes, 10 rooms, maybe that makes more sense. But 70 rooms, it's a huge building, far too big. It doesn't have the resources it needs as currently laid out. The other thing I would say is, using the road a lot, there is a small housing development just past, and you'll see it if you go on your site visits. And the congestion and problems that causes people with just 5 houses, I think, of traffic slowing up and turning into that junction, is a real safety issue. The access as proposed is totally inappropriate, given, I would suggest, the large numbers of movements you're going to see. So that piece of road, I know they say there is visual sites, but actually the visual sites on it's a bend. It's basically a wide bend, and the visibility is not good on that road. And I think the proposed junction is entirely the wrong place. I think if the junction was into the industrial estate or through the Montessori park, it would be much, much safer. It's entirely the wrong place. But I think you can't have an access on Chelmer Village Way at that point. It just makes no sense. And I think that would be obvious from any visit you do. That's all I'd like to say. Thank you.
I don't wish to cross-examine Mr. Pioli on highway matters, Mark.